watch alert, Danny Parkins, who has a list of the top 5 guys he's most excited to see.
And as you know, I'm seeing the league.
This is your thing.
Very clearly.
You were the top predictor, at least in FS1.
Yeah, maybe the world's, but we can't.
Maybe the world, but certainly in the FS1 world.
That's
so,
right.
That's a sore spot on this show.
I know, but now
the guy that usually sits in that seat is very
But you would
upset
think
about
that Nick would get used to it, given that it's been years and years of me beating him. I just now have done it on his turf. So you would think you would get to know. But yes, the 5 guys I'm most excited to see this upcoming season in the NFL. We begin with number 5, Saquon Barkley. How do you follow history? Eagles fans seem to be very upset with my general opinion of Jalen Hurts, but it's really because I have such a high opinion of everyone else on the team. And Saquon Barkley gets a chance here. He says he wants to be one of the all-time greats, but then he also says he's not going to play forever and he's just going to retire at a moment's notice. So he's not in Canton yet, but he had a 2,000-yard season. He has a ring. How does he follow it up? Following up that historic season behind that offensive line, if he stays healthy, if he goes back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons, if he gets
you think that's on the board?
The reason it's on the board is because of the offensive line, because of 17 games, because Jalen Hurts is 22nd in the NFL in pass attempts. Everyone knows they run the offense through this guy. He didn't really play in Week 18. He sat down in some games because of blowout situations. It would be incredible.
I'm predicting over 1,500.
Which will be,
he hits 1,500,
which would then be a record for most rushing yards in back-to-back seasons. So he has a chance to really cement all-time legacy status for not getting the single-season title last year. Can't wait to see how he follows up history. Number 4, Aidan Hutchinson. He's coming back from the huge injury, and it's more about what he represents, because I know what he is. He's obviously one of the 5 or 6 best pass rushers in the NFL. But I feel like last year, as great of a story as Washington was, we were robbed of the NFC Championship game that we deserved. The Lions never been to a Super Bowl in their franchise's history, and the injuries to their defensive starters became so comical that they were able to score. They got the 1 seed by beating Minnesota in Week 18. They get the bye. They host Washington in the divisional round. They score 31. And they get blown out, right? Because they give up 45. They were basically drawing dead going into the playoffs as a 1 seed because that no one could overcome that with their defensive games lost. If Hutchinson can just get them to league average, because there's questions with Ragnow's retirement, Ben Johnson's departure, Aaron Glenn's departure. Are the Lions, who have been a great team the last 2.5 years, are they going to backslide with their difficulty of schedule, difficulty of the division? I think it's just as likely that they're dominant again, but it'll be because if 97 can get back to form. Cannot wait to see the Lions defense.
Just quickly on this, I mean, he looks good here. As far as the editor of Hobble Watch, that injury was brutal, and he looks pretty good. Nick was worried that maybe the muscle definition on his legs look a little bit different.
I don't
know if that's fair or not, but it's.
I know Nick plays a doctor in the seat. I have no idea. I try not to judge the OTA videos. He looks good crawling there. But no, I don't know, but that's the whole key to the entire operation. He does, and he's an absolute beast. Third, the player I'm most excited to watch, and I got a lot of take equity built up in this guy. We talked a lot about it early in the week, Wildes, when you were gone. Justin Herbert.
Oh, wow.
The ultimate eye test quarterback. Wow. My guy, I just believe he's the 5th best quarterback in the world, and it's not based on anything numeric. And it's not based on quarterback performance in the playoffs either, because he's 0-2. But
can't be.
But, Brou, he still is on pace to be Peyton Manning. That's right. He is. Through 5 seasons, identical records, better completion percentage, identical passing touchdowns, both winless in the postseason. Now, Peyton.
Different game today.
Okay.
Even when Peyton played, they weren't throwing it quite as much as this.
Not throwing quite as much, but he was a high-volume thrower for his era. And Justin Herbert wasn't even a high-volume thrower last year because of
his
Harbaugh.
Numbers early in his career are fantastic. His first few seasons.
Yeah, and the eye test to me is there. Now, the collapse against the Jaguars and 4 interceptions against the Texans in his 2 playoff games, that is tough. And Peyton started ripping off MVPs in years 6 and 7 and conference championships and ultimately Super Bowls. So this is the year, Justin. You got maybe the best tackle duo in the NFL. You've got a competent coach. You've got a top 10 defense. You need to make me right. this season.
I like that.
The second player that I am most excited to watch, he's getting a ton of hype, the most hyped guy in this rookie class, and I still think it's not nearly enough, Travis Hunter. The Jaguars, are telling everybody what their plan is, and we're all like, are they really going to play him both ways? They traded up from 5 to 2 to get him. They are working him out on both sides of the ball. I think he's going to set the record for most snaps played in NFL history as a rookie. He played 1,483 snaps in 13 games. And I know it's college v. the pros, and there's a jump up there. But 1,483 snaps would shatter the record for most snaps by a player in a single season, and he gets 4 extra games to do it. Shohei Ohtani changed how we think about baseball.
Right.
This guy, just by being on the field, the volume of plays that I think he is going to be, is going to change the way we think about what is athletically possible for football players.
Here,
What
I want to see, you mentioned Shohei Ohtani. What's special about, or more special about Shohei, is he is elite on both sides, as a hitter and a pitcher. I would rather see, and it's hard for me to imagine he is going to be elite, like a top all-pro level cornerback and receiver. I would honestly rather see, if it's going to be, he's good as a receiver. He's good as a cornerback, and wow, he's going both ways. I would rather him see him just as a receiver, but he's awesome. He's Justin Jefferson. Absolutely. You wouldn't rather see him, or a cornerback, but really receiver more. But either way, I want him to be like a Hall of Fame level player at one of the positions rather than good at both.
Yeah.
I'll take good at both.
Over him being let's say he was Justin Jefferson, that level of receiver.
Justin Jefferson is obviously amazing, and I think if he was that would be remarkable, obviously. But if he can be a top 25 corner and a top 25 receiver, the value of that contractually and what it would do for you with a roster and game planning,
But don't you want to be the best you can?
Why is one holding back from the other? Like if he,
I think because of the stamina and the hits and all the impact that it puts on your body to go both ways. I just think it's going to be hard to excel at both sides. And I'm not saying I don't want to see him play both ways. I'm just saying I want to see him be awesome either at one or both.
So here's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about his stamina. I'm not worried physically. I think that he is on another level in a league full of guys on a different level. Tell me if you're worried about this. If Sauce Gardner gets beat on a route, it happens. You're not going to play perfect football. Christian Gonzalez gets beaten on a route. He's still our guy. Perfect route. Jalen Ramsey gets beat. You're like, I don't know. He's getting a little long in the tooth. Yep. Do you think the first time he gets beat on, first time, probably nothing. Welcome to the NFL moment.
Yeah, sure.
Second time, I don't know. Third time, but just like errors that are pop up on YouTube, go a little bit viral. Maybe the media scrutiny's not there. I think in a major market it would happen. Are you worried about some pressure where, hey, you let up small margins, you let up that game, we lost the game because of that, and that sort of pushes him one way or the other?
The kid seems to have the belief and the confidence in his own ability. Now, the NFL can deflate an ego real fast,
I believe that he thinks he can do it. I'm just worried if the decision makers or the noise gets a little bit loud.
I don't know how loud the noise can get in Jacksonville, and the new GM there, he came in and he was just like, I'm just saying, he came in and he was like, we think he can change the sport.
Yeah.
He drafted him and said he's going to change the sport.
If Ohtani went into if Ohtani came out and was batting, 212, they'd be like, you should stop pitching. Or if it went the other way, like, hey, maybe don't.
Oh, listen, again,
I'm worried about if he doesn't thrive.
So I think this is really just a litmus test of what your tolerance is for being good. I agree.
Yeah.
He can't be a liability as a corner and then also want to play 100 snaps a game, because they'll be like, no, man, you've got to save your energy for one. But as long as he is holding his own as a rookie at both, I want to see the experiment. The list is, what is he
Fine, but I'm talking about his career.
Well, let's see.
Would you rather see him just be good, maybe make 1 or 2 Pro Bowls at one of the positions
he can make
versus
Pro Bowls
being like a perennial all-pro receiver or cornerback?
I just don't want to concede that one is going to stop him from the other until I see him try to do it. What'd you say?
I'm open to it. I'm going to be honest. I have a hard time, and as much as I love Travis Hunter and I think he's phenomenal, I just have a hard time believing he is that much ahead of a Deion Sanders and a Charles Woodson, guys that played both ways in
played,
college.
was playing for the Reds too. So
I don't think he is either, Brew. But I think our ability in sports science and what we think a guy can do is going to change. And I know the Jaguars are going to try.
So we got to get to number 1. I spoiled it.
Yeah, number 1. Well, listen, it's fairly obvious. It's Danny's most excited to watch. Yeah. Caleb Williams, man, he's got to. Can he keep up with Jaden Daniels? I think Drake May is going to be great. Yeah.
He got to catch up.
Catch up's a better way to put it. You're right. Catch up's a better way to put it. But in my mind, keep up. And here's the thing, and we'll talk about it at some point and later and for years and years to come. He was good. He was good. The situation was a disaster, and I have very specific goals in mind for year 2 of Caleb Williams, year 1 with Ben Johnson, because year 1 was complicated. Just improve across the board. 62% completion, give me 65 plus. You got a McVay offense now? That should be doable. You had 20 passing touchdowns, be the first Bears quarterback ever to get to 30 or more. 3,500 passing yards, be the first Bears quarterback ever to get to 4,000 or more. Only franchise with both of those barometers. Brew, I'm not even being too ambitious. He was sacked 68 times. Just get below 50. just be below 50.
You aren't being that ambitious. Yeah.
It's a lot of sacks.
If he's getting sacked 49 times, I think it hurts those other numbers.
Joe Burrow, he's up there. Aaron Rodgers has been up there at times. Just drop it a little bit, please, for your own health. And then
wins double.
Wynn's got a double. Wynn's got a double. Wynn's got a double. Double wins. 9 plus. Oh. That's right. 9
That's
plus.
not bad.
Caleb Williams.
Seems doable.
Most excited to watch this season.
Good list.
Thank you.
Brew, do you have an addition?
It's a solid list. There's only one I disagree with, and that's your boy Justin Herbert. Here's why. And I like Herbert a lot too, but I don't think he went from throwing it 38 to 40 times a game. And then Harbaugh gets there and he threw it less than 30 last year. So and now they got Najee Harris, Omari and Hampton, those 2 running backs new to the team. Like, I think Harbaugh's going to be running that football. He might throw it 27, 28
more Josh Allen-y.
Yeah, but he don't run like Josh Allen. So I'm just saying I don't think that's the only reason I would not have him. I love watching the big 4, any of them, Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, and Allen. And I could throw in Derrick Henry. Because I think the spirit of the list is almost comeback or, storylines. So I'm going to say Justin Fields. Just because, I am, and I think you like Justin Fields too.
Listen, as a person, I love him. I think that some of his limitations are just going to be his limitations. But I do believe,
some stunning passes he's had.
The slow motion stuff.
So we're told.
It's the best slow-mo quarterback.
Oh my gosh.
And his highlight tape makes you think he could be the best player ever.
And see, I think Aaron Glenn is going to play to his strengths.
Yeah.
He's not going to try to fit him into, be a square peg, so to speak. And they do, look, he's back with Garrett Wilson, Ohio State guy. I don't think he's going to be throwing it all over the yard, but I just think they have talent offensively, and I think them playing